Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever episode of WTOP10's newest sports show, Hockey Talk. My name is Rob Finger, alongside my good friend Mike DeMars, and we are here to talk hockey. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rob, you're going to have to be more specific. Hockey is a big sport. What exactly are you going to be talking about? Well, that's a very good question. The world of hockey is indeed a big one, and we're going to be covering a few different levels of it as we go on for future episodes of this show. Usually, we'll start off with the hockey that happens right here in Oswego. We'll go over what the men's and women's Division III hockey teams have been up to, show some highlights from each game, and get the reaction of me, Mike, and our other guests that we'll have over the course of the season. Then, after a quick break, we'll zoom out to the world of professional hockey, more specifically the NHL. We'll cover how the teams around us have been playing, teams like the Rangers, Sabres, Islanders, and my personal pick, the Canadiens. Then, after our final break, I want to focus on one player in particular every episode, someone that comes from right here in central New York who's been lighting it up in their league of choice, whether that be the ACHA, some junior teams, or even Section 3 high school hockey. Big names have come from this area. People like Thomas Harley, Dustin Brown, Jimmy Howard, Tim Connolly, all got their start right here in central New York. Then we'll close out the show with what you should be looking out for. Where are the Lakers going next? Are there big rivalry games coming up in the NHL? What games should you as hockey fans be paying attention to? That's what this show is all about. This is a show made for hockey fans, by hockey fans, for hockey fans. That's why there's no suit to be seen. These are our own jerseys showing our own fandom, and that's why I turned it over to the man in the Rangers jersey right next to me. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, actually. I'm doing really, really well, especially that the NHL season's finally getting underway. First couple games have been played. I think the Rangers, they're looking really nice. I can't wait to talk about some of the games that happened over the last week
absolutely.
or so.
And I can't help but notice the CCM Statue of Liberty jersey.
Yes,
oh my goodness.
This is one of my favorite all-time jerseys. I personally love the Liberty jersey, especially the 90s one. That's why I bought this 90s one. Some of the more modern ones, they're nice, but they don't top this one.
Oh, yeah, and especially like the dark blue version of that one as well.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely iconic.
Like,
I will
nice.
admit, the Rangers have had some absolute bangers of jerseys here in the in their history.
Oh, definitely.
It's been amazing what they've been able to do. So, well, don't go away. The NHL regular season is just getting underway, and there's already been an upset here in Upstate. We've got all the highlights, so keep it here on Hockey Talk.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message.
Hey, I don't have much time. It's almost here. Listen closely, and whatever you do, don't panic.
Up to Dobson at the point. The cross-ice pass comes to Parise, who's going to extend the lead to 3, but the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're not going down without a fight. Puck loose, out in front of it.
Welcome back to the best show on WTOP. I'm your host, Miss Meg Trivia. And I'm Donna B.
We start things off in the pool as 4 members of the Oswego women's swimming and diving team have earned all SUNYAC honors. Oh, finally got that old music back. Welcome live inside the El Roker studio for the newest episode of Sports.
Welcome back to Hockey Talk here on WTOP, the show made by hockey fans for hockey fans. I'm Rob Finger alongside Mike DeMars, and this past Sunday, an upset occurred in Western New York that nobody could have foreseen when the Florida Panthers took on the Buffalo Sabres. We've got all the highlights, so take a look. The defending Stanley Cup champions find themselves in Western New York tonight as they take on the Sabres at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo. Midway through the first, Panthers on the rush over the blue line, passes across, back for Schmidt, shot, scores! Nate Schmidt puts the Cats ahead early. Last 3 minutes of the first, deep in Florida's end, down in the corner, puck bounces across the crease. Backhander scores! Jordan Greenway off a chaotic play in front evens the score at 1 apiece. Just a minute later, Buffalo breaks it out. Tuck for Tage Thompson. Here he comes. Big shot, scores! 2-1 Buffalo. Second period of action, Rasmus Dahlin shuffles across. Pass for Yoki-Haru. Shot, scores! Henry Yoki-Haru, 3-1 Sabres. 4 to go in the second. Sabres taking it around behind the net. Knight's on his rear in the crease. Samuelson from the top scores on a bouncer. Matthias Samuelson makes it 4. Florida isn't to be defeated so easily, though. Panthers on the power play. Sam Reinhart to Sam Bennett. Shot, scores. Florida answers the 4 from Buffalo. The 4 unanswered goals. Last minutes of regulation interception from Alex Tuck, and the Central New Yorker will put this one away for the Sabres. Final score from the Queen City, 5-2 Buffalo. Sabres getting their first win of the season. Devin Levi leaving with a .900 on the night, and the defending Stanley Cup champions leave Western New York with a mark in the L column. And you love to see and hear that if you are a Sabres fan, Mike. Oh my goodness. What an upset. What a great game for the Sabres.
You know what? The Sabre fans, they really needed it because the Sabres, they haven't been the best team for a while. I can't remember the last time the Sabres been a good team. And even during the preseason, this season, for like the global games, for example, they lost both global games. So I'm sure a lot of Sabre fans are happy that they especially beat the defending Stanley Cup champions. So, I'm really happy to see it for them, even though I don't like the Sabres.
Oh, yeah, and one person that we do have to talk about as well, Tage Thompson. People were wondering, he's been one of the most hyped up players of this Buffalo Sabres team for the last couple years now. Thankfully, he was able to get that big breakout and able to put a mark on the board for the Sabres.
That was a perfect shot.
Oh, absolutely. And one player as well that we have to mention, Jordan Greenway. Where did he come from?
Guy comes in.
I
don't know either. I can't tell you.
Scores the first goal of the game, on a beautiful, chaotic backhand shot. Where does this come from? I think he's either middle six or bottom six.
Well, the game's it's all about speed. The game is all about speed, and you love to see players that enhance that speed, and take advantage of it. And the Sabres, they really embodied that. Especially, what was his name? Greenway.
Yep, Jordan Greenway.
Greenway.
Oh my goodness.
Greenway.
Because obviously somebody to watch going forward, that sort of chaotic play right in front of the net, you go to the net, you might just get a goal, That's how I used to always play.
You always got to go to the front of the net. You always got to go there.
Yeah, and that's how I used to play when I was playing hockey for a long time. I was somebody who did get into those sort of gritty areas of the offensive zone. I was that guy who's going into the corner, fighting for it. I believe 75% of the goals that I ever got in my career were from me, planting myself in front of the goalie and trying to take his eyes away, different things like that. Obviously, it's a little bit of a different case for Jordan Greenway here.
Oh, definitely.
But you go to the net, nice little backhand shot, find some twine past Spencer Knight there, and he is able to tie it up for the Sabres, and the Sabres just did not look back because you had Tage Thompson getting that one goal. Oh my goodness. And then Henry Yoki-Haru, what a shot that was.
That was beautiful. You're not going to see many shots like that. And that was all the way from the back of the offensive zone, too. So those shots, especially in modern hockey, I feel like you don't see it as much. So it's really impressive to get it from that distance all the way over there. And I don't think there was a crowd in front of him. But still, either way, there's a lot of time for the goalie to look at the shot and react to it and try and make a save. But it bounced off him, didn't it?
Yeah.
So either way, it's just a really clean shot.
Yeah, and then we got to give you credit as well to Rasmus Dahlin, who got the assist on that goal, doing that little bit of a shuffle here and there. Sometimes D's will do that to just go back to try to confuse the offense and things like that, and it paid dividends for them. So 5-2, Final score
beautiful,
for
very beautiful.
the Sabres here. Now, Monday night was a big night for hockey with many big games, including an original six matchup between the New York Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings, with the Rangers looking to bounce back from a 6-5 OT loss to the Utah Hockey Club. We go downstate for all the highlights. Big night for hockey in Madison Square Garden as the Rangers take on the Red Wings in Midtown Manhattan. As we go to the middle of the first, still no score. Blue Shirts rush it in. Brettman with it. Hands to Laffy. Scores! Alexis Lafreniere. What a snipe to the low corner. And the Rangers take an early lead. Last seconds of the first, Detroit wants one. Justin Hall takes it deep. Feeds Dylan Larkin. Scores! Just as the buzzer sounds in the Garden. 1-1 hockey game as we go to the second period. 3 minutes left. Rangers on the power play. Fox, Panarin, Zibanejad. Kreider scores. What a tip in front by Chris Kreider. His third of the year. 2-1 Rangers after 2. Face off in the wings end. Won by Mika Smith. Walks it. Scores. What a shot by Riley Smith. His first of the year. Mika Zibanejad's second assist of the night. But you know he wants one himself. Last 2 minutes, Captain Trouba long for the Breadman. Empty net, looking for Mika. Finds him, and Mika Zibanejad will put this one out of reach for the Detroit Red Wings. Final score from MSG, 4-1 Rangers on a wonderful night for Igor Shesterkin. 31 saves on 32 shots, earns him third star of the night. Panarin gets second with 3 assists, and Mika Zibanejad gets the first star of the game with a goal and 2 assists. What a wonderful game for your New York Rangers, Mike.
I was really happy to see it, and this wasn't in the highlight package that you have, but 4 minutes into the second period, the Rangers, they were on the penalty kill, and the Red Wings, they're coming in hot, and Igor makes a monster glove save, does his usual windmill, and it was so beautiful to see. He is definitely working for his high-paying contract.
Yeah, I was about to say, because
I
was going to bring it up. Like, this is the guy who refused an 8x11 contract that would have made him the highest-paid goaltender in NHL history, even with just that contract. What do you foresee him making from these Rangers? Like, he's about to get paid.
There's no doubt about it. And I think the Rangers, they're going to try and keep him there. Like, there's no way that they can't keep him. Igor is the face of this team. He is literally the backbone of this entire team. So if they, say, oh no, never mind if you're going to act this way. That's pretty stupid of them to do that. And I get where Igor's coming from, where you try to get as much money as you can. And I see some people online, they talk about how he's trying to keep a sort of standard for goalie payments and contracts because he's doing so well, and if he takes more or less than what he's deserved of, then of course other people are going to use it down the line for other goalies who may be better than him, or like, well, Igor, he did it for this much, so you should do it for this much too. But what I think happens is when Igor tries to get more, then that wastes a lot of cap space for the New York Rangers, because the Rangers, they're a pretty well-developed team, but they still have a lot of room for improvement. So when you have that cap space wasted, then it almost hurts the team in effect. But I think Igor, he's going to stay with the Rangers. I feel like the Rangers, they're going to work something out with him, even if it's not $11 million, maybe if it's a little bit more. But either way, they're going to keep Igor. I can say that.
Oh yeah, and I was hearing as well that he was looking for like a contract that was like a little bit higher in payment, but like also shorter. So maybe he could make a little bit of that extra bread down the line, that sort of thing. You never know. And one person that we do have to highlight as well is Alexis Lafreniere.
Yes.
Oh my
God.
goodness.
I am loving what Lafreniere is doing. Last season, he was really coming into his own, and in the preseason, people were worried that maybe he wasn't doing much like a lot of the Ranger players are doing. But he came back with this game. He got a goal, and I'm really happy for him because this was like a prime pick, Lafreniere. So it's really nice to see that some of that, early investment is paying off, or at least starting to pay off at the very least. He's becoming a really good, integral part of the team.
Yeah, and especially due to the fact that he wasn't really that present for the Rangers in their preseason, at least up until now, where obviously he gets that first goal of the game and then gets another assist on top of that. Or actually, no, another, I believe. Well, yeah, he got the first goal. But nonetheless, Alexis Lafreniere, thank goodness, at least for Rangers fans, that he's now showing up for this Rangers team. And you guys you're looking pretty
A
strong.
lot of the big boys, they're showing up. I just wish they would show up in the playoffs instead of regular season. But,
Yeah,
you know.
just leaving it to it's just turn.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. Anyways, don't go away, hockey fans. We've got more to come, including a fitting tribute to one of hockey's most exciting players. We'll have that and more when we come back, right here on Hockey Talk.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, I don't have much time. It's almost here. Listen closely, and whatever you do, don't panic.
Welcome back to Hockey Talk here on WTOP, the show made by hockey fans for hockey fans. Alongside Mike DeMars, I'm Rob Finger, and it's been about a month and a half since the deaths of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau rocked the hockey world to its core. So many tributes and so many memorials have been held in his honor by nearly every team in the NHL and more. But arguably the most important one was the one held last night by his former team, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Not a tear was left unshed in Columbus last night as the Blue Jackets honored the memory of Johnny Gaudreau by giving him the highest honor a team can, raising his number 13 to the rafters of Nationwide Arena. All in the presence of his wife, 2 kids, and his good friend and teammate, Sean Monahan. With that, the number 13 will never be worn by another Blue Jacket again. But, of course, we have a game to play. The Florida Panthers are in town, and through the first, we were scoreless. But early in the second, a breakout and a long pass feeds Cole Sillinger. Shot, scores! Cole Sillinger putting the first mark on the board for the home team. What a feed from Kent Johnson right up the middle. Hands Cole Sillinger his first goal of the year. But the defending Stanley Cup champs are not to be defeated easily. Board battle at the circles. They get it to the center. Reinhart Lundell scores. Puts it just past Elvis Merzlikins and ties it up at 1 apiece off a pass from Sam Reinhart and just gets it in off the side of Elvis's leg. But soon enough, Sean Monahan makes it 2-1 Jackets a minute later, and the Panthers have it all to do again. Big shot from Mikkola blocked. Dmitry Kulikov puts one on and scores. Dmitry Kulikov ties us up again. Last seconds of an eventful second period where we saw 3 goals scored in 2 minutes. Panthers crowding around the net. Sam Reinhart scores with 0.4 seconds to go. Beautiful feed from Sam Bennett behind the net. Carter Verhaeghe touches it, but it's Sam Reinhart that sends us to the third with a score of 3-2. Last 3 minutes of the third, Elvis is on the bench. Jackets down 2. LeBanc shot saved by Knight. Rebound to Van Riemsdyk. He scores. And the Blue Jackets have life in the dying minutes of the third. Last seconds, Fantilli wants one on the rush, but we are out of time from the Nationwide Arena. Panthers escape with a 4-3 victory thanks to a flurry of offense in the second. And they will take their spot at the top of the Atlantic Division on an emotional night for the Blue Jackets, who unfortunately find themselves at the bottom of the Metropolitan Division, but they certainly did not play like a bottom feeder team tonight, keeping the Panthers to a 1-goal game after regulation. Boy, oh boy, what a night for the Blue Jackets, and what a tribute to Johnny Hockey there at the beginning.
Definitely. You hate to see players, die, especially so young. And
absolutely.
one thing that I'm reminded of is the Atlanta Thrashers player Dan Snyder. If you remember 2003, he died in that car accident, and his teammate Headley, I think, he got charged.
Headley, yes.
Yep. So it's sort of a reminder, and like I said, you hate to see it, but I thought the tribute that they did for the game before it actually started was really sweet.
Oh,
and it was nice.
So for those of you who didn't know, what the Blue Jackets did essentially off the face-off was the Blue Jackets started with 5 on the side of the Florida Panthers, 4 on the side of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Blue Jackets left that open spot at the left wing for where Johnny Gaudreau would have been standing on any other night if that hadn't happened, with Sean Monahan, his good friend who played with him in Calgary and then had that little stint in Montreal and Winnipeg. But obviously, Sean Monahan went back to Columbus to play like, hey, I want to play with Johnny Hockey. I want to play with Johnny Gaudreau. And they left that place open on the left wing in honor of him, and then they dropped the puck and let 13 minutes, oh my goodness, 13 seconds, I should say, go off the clock down to 1947, and it was touching.
Definitely.
I will say a lot of tears were shed by me when I saw something like that.
What was not touching though was the score. The Panthers.
My goodness.
I get it. It's still hockey. You still got to play, and of course, the passing of a player isn't going to stop a team from trying to play the best they can. But I would definitely love to see the Blue Jackets win in this, and it's really sad to see, even by what was it, 5-2?
I mean, for their own credit, they did get the first goal on the board as well, which I'm sure absolutely lit up
100%.
Nationwide Arena
100%.
after this big ceremony where they've honored Johnny Hockey. And then for them to score the first goal off of Cole Sillinger, and what a snipe that was!
Well, you know what? Even though they lost, that's still a good moment to have. Especially being a Columbus Blue Jacket fan. I mean, and another thing, the Columbus Blue Jackets, I don't really, because they're one of the teams in my head where you don't really think of them as much. It's like maybe the Anaheim Ducks, for example, where they're not as popular. So. It's nice that the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're getting the attention that maybe they want. I mean, of course, it's sad, obviously, the player died. But I think they're getting some nice tributes, and I think it's important because, especially for a team that's not maybe as well known as other big teams like the Rangers, for example. So it's nice to see that the Blue Jackets team and the fans, they're getting recognition, especially Gaudreau. He's getting a lot of good recognition even after his death. So you love to see it.
Yeah, and especially for somebody who was so close to him as Sean Monahan getting a goal in this game as well. In honor of Johnny Gaudreau, one of his teammates on Team USA, Cole Caulfield, changed his number from 22 to 13 to honor his legacy, and it seems that the scoring spirit of Johnny Hockey is working his magic, as Montreal's darling has started this season with 4 goals in 3 games. Unfortunately, that scoring streak ended when the Penguins came to town. Le Centre Bell in Montreal, Quebec. Biggest house in hockey tonight. The Penguins are in town, and we'll get things started in earnest. First period, Penguins on the rush. Jesse Puljujarvi circles back, hands it to Lars Eller, who scores. The former Hab puts it past Montembeault, making it 1-0 Pittsburgh in his old barn. Later in the first, Josh Anderson trying to corral it, sends it below the goal line. Bunting kicks it to Malkin. Raquel scores. Raquel makes it 2 for the Penguins. 2 minutes later, other end, Suzuki, Matheson, Gooley, Clapper scores! Caden Gooley brings the Montreal faithful to their feet. 2-1 as we go to the second. Montreal on the power play, up for Matheson. Across for Captain Susie. Walks, shot, scores! Yuri Slavkovsky evens the score at 2. 5 minutes left in the second. Habs break it out. Emil Heineman, the rookie on the rush, 2-on-1, shoots it himself and scores. Second of the year, 3-2 Canadiens. 2 minutes later, Lars Eller versus Slavkovsky, 20-on-20 in the zone. Shot, scores! His second of the game, evens it again. Midway through the third, Penguins dump it in. Up the boards for Erik Karlsson. Shot, saved by Monty. Rebound, scores! Kevin Hayes puts the Penguins up once more. 4-3 Pittsburgh. Minutes later, Penguins break free. 3-on-1 into the zone. Grizzly to Gino. Drop to Letang. Scores! Chris Letang makes it 5. But Malkin's got 2 assists tonight, but he wants one. Empty net. Chucks it down all the way and in. Evgeny Malkin makes it 499 goals in his career to shut it down here in Montreal. Final score, 6-3 Penguins, with Gino just 1 goal away from joining the 500 goals club, along with his teammate Sidney Crosby, who's nearly 600 himself. You gotta love a victory like that if you're a Penguins fan, especially coming off the 6-0 victory, 6-0 loss, 6-0 victory for the Rangers.
I want to go back to that
well.
Malkin, 499 goals. That is amazing. That is impressive.
I mean, people call it a Gino for a reason these days in terms of hockey slang terms. Just nearly 500 goals because he's been playing with Sidney Crosby for Lord knows how many years anyway at this point. So for him to finally get to that big goal threshold, that 500 goals club that has so many different legends in it, like obviously somebody like Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, both of them are first ballot Hall of Famers, and both of them honestly should probably go into the Hall at the same time because they've essentially stuck together their entire career anyway. So just a wonderful game if you're a Penguins fan. Not quite as wonderful of a game if you're a Habs fan like me.
Of course, I would have liked them to lose because I don't like the Penguins very much.
Well, yeah, especially Metro Division, you know.
I mean, I don't like anybody in the Metro Division except the Rangers. So.
Well, fair enough, you know. I mean, because you've got like all your different rivals in there. You've got the Penguins.
I think the Rangers are just a natural rival to everybody in the division. That's what it feels like.
Fair enough. I mean, the New York Rangers are also like the quintessential Metro Division team.
Pretty
you know,
much, yep.
Like them, the Capitals, the Flyers, like that whole stretch from New York City to Washington, D.C., all the teams encompassing in there.
Yep.
But as well, just what a game for the Penguins as well. It's good for their life, for the life within them, for their energy as well.
I would argue it's the same case, with the Sabres. They weren't really doing so good, and they got this big win game, and there you go.
So
that's lunch.
As we wrap up here from the WTOP studio, we'll let you know what games to look out for here in the next week.
Going on right now is the matchup between the Buffalo Sabres and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Live from PBG Paints Arena, TNT is covering that right now as we speak.
The Habs will look to bounce back tomorrow night from their loss to the Penguins as they host the LA Kings in the Bell Center tomorrow night. ESPN Plus has your coverage at 7 p.m.
And the Rangers will be back in action Saturday night for another Original Six matchup as they visit the Toronto Maple Leafs at Scotiabank Center. MSG will have you covered at 7. Did I say that right?
Scotiabank. It doesn't matter. I mean, hey, nobody cares about the Leafs. No. Anyways, and Saturday night is the moment you've been waiting for as the Oswego State Lakers will have their preseason opener right here at the Deb as they take on the Kings College Monarchs for their first of 2 preseason games. Coverage will begin at 6:30 right here on WTOP. Are you excited for this season?
Pumped. I cannot wait to see what the Lakers do. I'm really hopeful for them.
Oh, yeah, they did really well last year as well. And Kings College, just looking at, I've been doing some early research on it right now. Kings College was not really that great last season. I think they had only 9 wins and double digits losses. But
what kind of name even is Kings College?
Well, especially due to the fact that they're not in Canada. Is a King's College in Canada would make sense because they have Queen's College, which is in Kingston. But yeah, Queen's College in Kingston. Weird nomenclature. But anyways, like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm going to be on the call for the women's game, and I'm going to be on the call for the men's game for WNYO. So we'll be doing all of that.
Oh, you know it. You know it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll do it for us here at the Marano Campus Center. To all the cast and crew, I say thank you. We wouldn't have a show without all your hard work. To you viewers, Thank you very much for watching. I've been Rob Finger.
And I've been Michael DeMars.
And we'll see you next time on Hockey Talk.